Guys, welcome back to another video. My name's ChiefDog74 and let's get into this one. So, people always talk about this is a thing. People always talk about their golden games. What they started off with, and how games have changed now and how they want to go back to the old ones. And I hit 50 subs 6 months ago. I'm probably a bit more than that now. I'm at 64 now, so it's basically a 60 sub special at this point. But in today's 60 sub special, 50 sub special video, I'm going to go over my golden games. Now, many people started with different racing games. Many people are nostalgic to different racing games, as well as just games in general. You know, people keep wanting to go back to some of the old games. Perhaps that's because they grew up with them. Perhaps that's because they had more people to play those games with them. I've certainly noticed that less and less people are playing video games together now. It's, you know, I mean, even towards like the start of the pandemic, there was loads of people playing together, whereas I don't really play games with other people now. I mostly just play with myself, sometimes with Cat Bunny, who you should check out. He's a Fortnite content creator, mostly, but he does do some other stuff. I sometimes play with him on different games, but you know, I wanted to talk about why I started playing racing games, why I still play racing games today, and why I still will 5, 10, 15, 20 years in the future or whatever. And there's two in particular which I wanted to talk about as my golden games. There were quite a few which came before it or whatever, but there's two in particular which I wanted to talk about. But first we'll get the quote-unquote honourable mentions out the way. Well, the game we're on now, Drive Club, is sort of one of them. It was my first racing game on the PS4. I didn't put a lot of hours into it because, as you can see, I was only level 24. And that was because it was one of my first racing games on the PS4, and I found it very hard. So I didn't play it a lot. But I did reinstall it recently, and I tried it with my wheel, the T150, and well, I should have played this game a lot more before because it's a really, really good game. Looks great, actually acts great as well, still today. I've just got some background gameplay here to show you, which is just to talk over about some of the games that I started off with. So another one of my first, I mean, some may say that it's not a racing game, but one of my other first racing games was, believe it or not, Mario Kart for the Wii. I had a Wii. That was one of my first ever consoles, and as silly as it sounds, it probably did help start my liking for racing games, because of course, well, it was simplistic and it was driving, and I mean, I loved that game. I played it to death. I got I had the Wii wheel, you know, and I used that, and I thought of actually driving the car and everything, and I used to always win, which, you know, it's not hard, I guess, because, you know, games made for kids, but yeah, that was one of the starting ones, which made me sort of like racing games, and then there's many more which allowed me to branch off. For example, my first F1 game ever was 2016. I got that. I wasn't particularly into F1 at the time. I got given to it as a birthday present. Very, very close to the time that I just got my PS4. I think I got my PS4 in 2017, or the 2016 Christmas, I think, was when I got my PS4. And can't remember the specific time after, but 2016, the F1 game in 2016 was one of my first, and it sort of helped me get into F1, because my family sort of watched it occasionally downstairs, and I always thought it was just a bit boring at my age. I'd never say that now. I'd never say that now, but I didn't used to like F1, and now I adore it. It's by far my favourite sport, by far the thing that I follow most, and the F1 2016 game was one of the reasons why, I guess. And F1 2016 was a game that I had for ages. I mean, the next F1 game I bought was 2019, and I bought 2019 at the end of its life cycle. And I played F1 2016 a lot, and towards the end there was just like 5 to 15 of us online which would play it, and there was usually only one server, and you know, we just race around there. So that was pretty, you know, cool, I guess. And then I moved on to 2019, played 2020, as some videos may show, if you go far back in my channel's history. By the way, we did go to year 2 actually, or no, it's been 2 years, so this is technically my 3rd year on YouTube. So pretty long time, and I'm fairly happy with the progress that I've made on the channel, and hopefully we can make more. But yeah, so F1 2016 was my first F1. Need for Speed 2015 was my first PS4 Need for Speed that I had, and that was a pretty good game, though I wouldn't play it now, because I did try and play it just before this video, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot how cringy it was. Although it didn't feel very cringy at the time when I played it, looking back now, it's incredibly cringy. So I wouldn't play it again, and the handling's very different to everything else. Crew 2 was one of my first Crew 2 games. Dirt 4 was another first for me. Well, that was my first Dirt game. What else? Gran Turismo Sport was my first Gran Turismo. Though I know that's not many people's firsts. But yeah, so I've gone on quite the wild journey. I have a PS5 now, which is of course good. So Yeah, that's I don't know what to say. That's good. I've got the I've upgraded the PS5 version of Gran Turismo actually, which there's going to be a Gran Turismo video. I want it to be later today, but I'm not exactly sure when it will be out. But hopefully later today, and that'll be on the PS5 version. So I was actually lucky to get a PS5. So, you can stay tuned for that video, but I think now it's time I revealed the two games which really made me fall in love with racing games. So let's head on over to the first then. Yep, that is right. People probably guessed that this was one of my favourite nostalgic games. This is, of course, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Although this is the remastered version. It was remastered in 2020. But I've done a few videos on Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, so you could have guessed this one. Yeah, this was actually my first ever Need for Speed. I don't think it was incredibly well received by everyone. I don't think a lot of people liked it. But I did. Because this is my first, my first Need for Speed. And compared to all the other Need for Speeds, I am aware it is incredibly different. It's incredibly different to some of the others. Why don't we do this one? This is a good one. Yeah, I am aware it's incredibly different to any other Need for Speed. However, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. It probably was because lots of people, they don't like this one. They think it's a bad one, it's an outlier or whatever. But this is what got me into Need for Speed. And I've put 250 hours or something into it, which doesn't actually sound a lot because it wasn't. Well, it's not really compared to the time I put into some other games now. But this was a game that I sort of only played every now and then on the PC when I was bored of the stuff on my Wii. Then I'd go on some Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And I loved the game, and I still do, because it's my nostalgic game. Is it probably good in the grand scheme of things now? Am I saying it's a good Need for Speed just in general? No, I am aware that the Need for Speeds now are a lot better, and I believe that too. I think that Need for Speed Heat is better than this game. It's objectively better than this game. However, this will still be one of my favourites because I grew up playing it. And that is what some people need to understand when they're talking about their golden games, It's not necessarily how well the game plays. Obviously that helps. If you've got a broken game, you're not really going to like it, but it's not necessarily how the game works. It's more about what your experience was with it. And since this was my first ever Need for Speed, since this was my first ever Need for Speed, that is why it's one of my most favourites, one of my most nostalgic Need for Speeds I've ever played, and I still think it's good. Other people won't like it, and yet, did it have a good... Ouch, that was a bit bullshit. Did it have a good... let's actually start blasting as well. Did it have a good Open world, no. And I can admit that. The open world was not the good part of the game. Because there wasn't a lot you can do. It wasn't really it was an open world, but there was nothing you could do. You know, you played this game for the events. You don't play it for the exploration, or getting all the collectibles, or doing this and that, which you can do in like Need for Speed Heat and stuff. You don't do that in this game. In this game, you play it to do the missions. Perhaps you want to do a challenge. Like I used to do challenges where I try and play a certain mission without using any of the I don't know what you call them, the like tools which your car has, like EMPs, spike strips, roadblocks, helicopters. I tried beating them without it. You could do them challenges which made the game more replayable.
All units, roadblock in position ahead.
But this got me into racing games, and I mean the handling on it is different, but I don't actually mind it. It's a win for me actually. I don't mind the handling of it. I'm sure other people don't like it, and yeah, today's handling is a lot different. But nonetheless, this is still a really good game. This is still my favourite Need for Speed, and it probably will be because it was my first. Anyway, so yeah, this was one of my favourite Need for Speed games, and it still is because I like it. Other people won't like it, but I like the fact that you could be a cop and you could be an outlaw. There was tools which you could use like spike strips, EMPs, jammers, turbos, helicopters, roadblocks. I found that to be cool, and there's not a modern Need for Speed game which does that now. I never played some of these after this game. Because I was too busy enjoying this one, and at that point I didn't really get games like over and over. Like I didn't buy the next game. Like I played FIFA 13 on the Nintendo Wii U, and then when I got my PS4 Pro, it came in a bundle with FIFA 17. Or was that actually no, it might have actually just been the PS4. I think the PS4 came with FIFA 17, and then when I got a PS4 Pro in 2019-2020, then that got me FIFA 20, and then recently the PS Plus they had FIFA 22, so then I picked up that game. I don't mind FIFA, but I'm not going to buy each one each year like I can now do with Need for Speed, or with FIFA. Not FIFA, F1. It's just because I was talking about FIFA, wasn't I? Yeah, so this is a good game. It's different, and it was my first Need for Speed. It's what got me to the Need for Speed franchise, and since then I've played 2015, 2017, and Need for Speed 2019. 2017 was played that a while ago. Oh, that was close call. There we go. So many will say this game isn't brilliant, and for that I say it's just because you didn't play it really attractive. I think, well, like I said, I never played a Need for Speed game before this one, so I can't say how good the others were, or whatever, or how bad they were, I don't know. They obviously, some of them were fairly good, because many people like Most Wanted 05. And that's completely fine. If you grew up playing Most Wanted 05, or it was a better game, then it's a better game. I can't say whether it's a good or a bad game, because I never played it. However, this is my favourite game. This is what got me to Need for Speed, like I've been saying. And, yeah, it's a good game. So, there's not really much else I can say. I'm glad I got a remaster.
Are you monitoring this? This guy's getting through a lot of damage.
And yeah, there isn't really much I can say, I guess. Other than that it's a pretty gosh darn good game. So let's move over to game 2, which perhaps will shock some of you a bit more.
You know, there's lots of stuff to do in Paradise City outside all that racing and road rage stuff. Go take out some burnout billboards, break some road rules, find some new shortcuts, or something big to jump off. Just explore, people, know your enemy, and know your battlefield. This is Atomica for Crash FM.
Yeah, I bet you didn't expect this one, did you? This, for those which are unaware, is Burnout Paradise. This is the remastered version. Now, some things you may notice and similar, or to be similar to the last game, was both of these were made by Criterion. That's right. Both of these had brilliant soundtracks, which I still listen to today. Some of these songs that were on this game, I wish I could play them, but of course I get copyrighted. Some of these songs on this game are still in my playlist today because I like them that much. I think this is a bit more of a popular pick among people on a good nostalgic game. And I actually played, well, this is actually my third copy of the game, technically. I had it on Xbox 360 when I was very young. I barely can remember about it. I had it on Steam, and again, I think I have 300 hours into it. I never actually completed the game though. Shocking, I know. But I haven't really ever been a completionist, to be fair. But I still love the game to the fullest extent. And I think it's better if I just showed you why this game is brilliant. I didn't actually know this, but it actually has a DLC over here. I didn't actually know that this DLC existed when I first had the game. I never really bought DLCs back at that time. Yeah, I put many hours into this game. It's brilliant, and I'm going to do 2 events for you, 2 of my favourite events. Well, you know what, we'll do 3. We'll do 3 for luck. Here we go.
Ready to race? You are here. Race west to the wind farm.
So if you never played Burnout Paradise, pretty much you get 3 different types of car: stunt car, aggressor car, and race car. I'm in a stunt car. You can know because I've got the green boost, and stunt cars get boost for doing drifts or going off ramps. Aggressors get it for taking out people, as you just saw. This game is fully about taking out people. and then racers get it for race cars get it for speed, and of course race cars are supposed to be used in race events. However, the beauty of it is that you can use any car you want. You could use an aggressor, you could use a stunt car like I am, or you could use a race car, and you can go forth and win events in any car you like. There's no restrictions. You could use a massive, I don't know, big bulky car that's an aggressor, and you can still win the race. It will be harder, sure, however it's still completely possible. Many games nowadays will probably only let you use that car. However, Burnout Paradise decided that they could do they could let you have a challenge, and I have gone the wrong way. I swear I know the map, I swear. I'm just doing a detour to let the AI catch up. But yeah, there was 4 different types of events. There was race events, there was stunt events, there was road rage, which was my favourite, and there was also marked man, which was my second favourite. I liked race is pretty decent, however I don't think it's what the Burnout Paradise game is for. It's good that they have it in. It provides a different challenge. However, I liked the road rages and the marked men events more. And then they also had stunt events, which I didn't like when I was growing up and playing this game. And that's a win. And I was in a stunt car there. It actually looks a lot like the Nissan Skyline. And yeah, the aim of the game was to get wins and
Keep
to
your eyes
upgrade your
open for the
license.
Katano Hydrus custom driving around the streets. If you see it, shut it down to add it to your car collection.
And then you had these cars, which you could win and then use. So there was progression. You didn't get to just, you didn't start with a Lamborghini. I mean, there's obviously not a Lamborghini because none of these cars are like properly licensed ones. They're made up, but made based off of cars. Like, you can tell that this is a Skyline looking thing. Well, you can't because there's a smashed bonnet. Why did you turn? That was something which was pretty funny with the AI as well. They used to sometimes go for you, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they did. Oh my god, I swear I'm good at this game, I swear. In fact, let's go to the next event, and I'll be in a different car, unless I see that roaming car. Because if you didn't know, in Burnout Paradise, you either get given cars, which you then need to fix at a repair shop, or you have to find them, like this one right here. So he smashed himself. Nice work. Yeah, you either had to find cars and then hit them, and then they get added to the junkyard, which is basically a garage, and then from there you can then use them if you fix them up at a repair station, yeah. Oh my god, I swear I'm good at this game. Yeah, like I said, let's just go to the next event. There you go, him. That's mine now. So yeah, you can tell this looks a little bit like a Subaru, but not blatantly obvious, to a point where it's a copy, because I mean they didn't have the license. You had super jumps. There was collectibles in this game because you had the billboards and the signs which was shortcuts. That's what the signs were for. So yeah, in game, or in general, this game is brilliant, and it's, you know, I didn't ever buy another Burnout game. I don't even think there was another Burnout game after this, but it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy these, and it doesn't mean that it didn't then go on to make me enjoy the game as much as I do now. These were never here before. The bikes were, the cars were, but those were never there before. I think those were part of the DLC. So you can see what I mean. You got the speed car, the stunt car, and the aggression car. I'm gonna actually drive this one. This was actually a funny car because whenever you drove it, the music would always be muffled because the car was a house. That's the turning circle of a house too, my god. Yeah, this was one of my favourite cars in the game because of just how big and chunky it was taking hits. So that was actually a repair thing as well. So I got this car in my playthrough, which I did, because the game gets better as you go along. Like, you know, the events get harder and it gets better as a game, because it's just more fun when the AI are trying to hit you more and stuff. But Marked Man, if you didn't know, it's a race event, sort of. You want to get to the place without dying, and the reason why you want to try not to die is because, well, you lose the event, also because, well, you're a marked man, so these cars pop up and they try and take you out, and if you're in an aggressor car, then it's easier to sustain damage. You have more health, yeah, one of the funny parts actually, which I used to like doing, was later on in the game you can actually unlock the marked man car. If you get it in a certain colour, then it looks like the marked man car. So it looks like they're chasing themselves, which I always found funny. And that's a car you get late in the game, like I said. So for now, I'm just going to be in this aggressor car and finish them. There you go. So you can actually ever take them out completely. They always came back. Oh, that was a bit dumb driving from me. You can actually ever completely take them out. Oh, yeah. Another thing with this game is when people hit you...
Your opponents in Marked Man are always heavyweight hunter civilians. If you drive a stronger car, you'll stand a better chance of surviving their slams.
Yeah, thank you, DJ Atomica. We won that event. Yeah, you could be that car, and if you're in an aggressor car, then you're stronger, so you can take more hits. Let's do my favourite events now, the road rage ones. There was an event at every light,
Hit that takedown target.
every light stop thing. So there's quite a few events in the game, and of course they could be any of those 4 events. But these were my favourite events all the time, because you got to take out cars, and the aim was literally just to destroy as many cars as you can. Well, there's a target which gets harder as you play more events or more road rages. The max it can get to is 40, like the target being 40, and each time you get a takedown during the target, it increases your time. So you used to, like, you know, try and see who could get the most takedowns or whatever, and obviously it gets easier to get more takedowns as you go on, because once you hit the target, your time doesn't add up. You just keep going until either you die or you completely die, you run out of lives, or the timer runs out. Oh my god, voice crack. And you know, you could challenge yourself by going in a race car because they have less health or less chances of them, and they were not so strong. Though your opponents did scale as well. Like if I was in a race car, you wouldn't get these strong aggressor cars. You'd get like you get other race cars, but it's still, nonetheless, it made it hard, or harder. Yeah, these were my favourite events. I used to play these to the very end. These were the first events which I did completely, because once you're licensed, once you get like a certain amount of wins, your license resets, and when your license resets, you have to redo the events which you've already done and clear them again. And then at the end, it wants you to do every single event and win every single event. So the first ones which I did in my playthrough was the takedowns. I did those ages before, and even though I'd done them, I still played them again and again and again and again because I liked them so much. These were brilliant events. This is pretty much why you play Burnout Paradise. You know, it's not the most realistic, as you probably could tell. It's just a game that is incredibly fun, and I mean, I'd still recommend picking it up today. It's probably not all that much, maybe like £20, £10 if it's on sale or something like that. And it was just so fun, such a fun game, and partly why I like racing games so much. And how could we forget DJ Atomica? What a legend! I mean, ouch. Yeah, what a legend. Yeah. These two games, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit and Burnout Paradise, really got me through life. Sometimes even some of the tough times which I had was solved or gone away because of these games. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video though, then go ahead and hit the like and perhaps even the subscribe button if you really enjoy my content. I'm hopefully making another video today as well, which was the Gran Turismo 7 event, which happened yesterday night for the GT World Series, so you can check that video out if it's out by then. But until then, this has been Chief Dog 74. I hope you have enjoyed this insight. Thank you again for 60 subs. Hopefully we can hit that elusive 100 mark soon. That would be brilliant, and then keep growing my channel from there. And I mean, you never know, maybe years and years down the line I'll hit a million, and that'll be excellent, superb, brilliant. Yeah, till then, this has been Chief Dog 74, and I'll see you guys in the next video.